Jonah Wasserman.
Hello and welcome to Ezra Schwartz Memorial Field in Ra'anana, Israel. Game 7 of the Maccabi baseball series. The United States trailed Israel 3-1 before winning the last couple and forcing this pivotal Game 7. Two best words in sports. Can't beat it, and we have it for you here today. Will Hopkins alongside Zach Karp, proud to present this edition of Israel Baseball on YouTube. And Zach, for the visiting United States, Donnie Natterman will play center field and bat leadoff, batting second and playing shortstop Jackson Cohen, and batting third, the first baseman Nate Kempton. In the cleanup spot in catching, Asher Applebaum, and in left field batting fifth, Samson Knopf. Third baseman batting sixth is Sam Swiderski, and the designated hitter in batting seventh is Ari Einhorn. Brady Feldman will bat eighth and play second base, and rounding things out, the aforementioned Ben Stone in right field. On the Israeli side, they will have the lefty Jonah Weissman on the mound, but the lineup looks like this. Batting first and manning the large center field here, Meyer Felomovicius will bat leadoff, and Yahav Arbel will bat second, playing second. Omer Brooker will be the right fielder batting third, with Yahel Barkaye designated the hitter batting leadoff. Noam Katz is two Noams on the left side of the infield. He is shortstop second base, and left fielder batting second. The other Noam, the Goldberg variety, batting seventh, playing third base. First base, Jonas Bethani is batting eighth and batting ninth and doing the catching. Eitan Hagan. We should have video now. Apologies for that at the beginning of the stream. Happy to have you watching along. For those that haven't watched the series, an interesting ballpark here at Ezra Schwartz Memorial Field. In center, it is 475 feet. Like polo grounds out here in Israel. Down the line and left, 306. There's a net that could come into play, treated just like a wall.
Right as well.
Yeah, 334 down the line and right with a soccer goal that could get in the way as well. We're doing the best we can out here. Excited to have these two battling it out. 3-1. Israel had all the control, but the U.S. really getting back into it after the last two.
Yeah, pretty exciting. I spoke to the United States head coach last night in the lobby of the hotel that everybody's staying at, and he was super excited. He was getting his team ready. Everybody was fired up, especially being down 3-1. It's super exciting for them. Everybody's super excited to be here. It's a perfect atmosphere and a perfect day here in Ranana, Israel, to play a great game of baseball. I'm super excited.
And we've got a good crowd on hand. We've got some cheerleaders on hand. It really should be a fun time. Reminder, 7 innings, of course, unless it's tied. And that will be the decider of this 7-game series. They were going to play 7 games regardless. And it could have been a little bit weird if one team already had 4 wins. We don't have to worry about that. Each team sitting at 3 wins and trying to bring home the gold. All the other nations dropped out, and that's what caused this just 2-team 7-game series. I wasn't sure how it would pan out, but with the game it's worked out pretty close. Zach, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, you know what? I don't think you could ask for any more. As you said at the beginning of the broadcast, the best 2 words you could ever hear as a sports fan.
Yes, you did.
Everybody's super excited. The crowd is ready to go. The United States players super getting ready to
Fans, a reminder today, it is really hot outside, so please, if you're able, please drink water. Also, we hope you brought your gloves today for today's match.
Left-hander on the mound for Israel, Jonah Weissman, his 3rd appearance in this series. His first appearance went really well. The U.S. hit him a little bit better the second time around, but against that lefty, the U.S. is going with all 9 batters, batting right-handed batters. Like we said, 306 down the line and left, so even a pop fly could get out of here at Ezra Schwartz Memorial Field. When we get going, home plate umpire will be Daniel Salter at first base, Yaxie at second base, and Kieran Shipman at third base. Daniel Rablowski, obviously, they're not part of the storyline, but as an umpire, it's a difficult field to manage. A lot of rules that you got to keep in mind. It's not simple out here.
Yeah, for sure. And another thing to keep in mind today, it looks like the wind is blowing pretty strong out towards center field or towards the right center field area. So you might expect to see a lot of balls fly that way. I spoke to first baseman Nate Kempton before the game today, and he talked to me about how a couple times over this season, especially for himself, the ball will fly out into the outfield as soon as it passes the center field or the right fielder anyway, especially since this is a tournament. They've been letting the ball pass out into the gap.
The only issue with that is there's a gate in the outfield. So you might hit it far enough to be a triple, but if it rolls through that gate, sorry, ground ball double could be too far for your own good. Israel defense, taking the field. Jonah Weissman, as we mentioned, on the mound, pitching to Eitan Elias, the catcher. Jonas Medhani is at first base. Yahav Arbel at second. I mentioned the two
Fans, your attention on the mound, Team Israel.
Cats at short. Daniel
Pitcher
Harris is
number
in field.
14, Jonah Weissman.
In center field, and Connor Brooker in right field. Pronunciation. Doing the best we can.
Yeah, we're trying our hardest here.
But you mentioned how important it is for the pitchers to start well and to get out first as an offense. The U.S. as the road team, how important is it for them for Israel? How important is it for them to have a 1-2-3 inning and get right to their bats?
Yeah, especially since it's a shorter game than a lot of Major League Baseball fans are accustomed to. 7 innings means that whoever has the momentum, if you can carry that through the game, you're set. And it all starts with this first inning. If Israel, as you said, can get a 1-2-3 shut down inning and start the game that way, with all that defensive momentum, if they can get that to happen, it's going to be a huge damage to the United States. They're going to have to fight with their own crowd. They only have so many opportunities. Every swing counts in a game like this.
Just scoring first in a short game is pivotal enough in terms of how many chances come to bat. So we're just about ready to go. Just after 9 o'clock in the morning in America, sitting at pretty toasty 86 degrees Fahrenheit. It'll get down to about 82. More accustomed to Celsius, 30 right now, and should get down to 28 as the U.S. is set to get things underway. Tanya Natterman, the Greater Atlanta area native, as I am myself. Playing center field will be Natterman, Cohen, and Kempton for the U.S. in the first inning, trying to get something going off of Jonah Weissman.
Do you have any Philadelphia area players?
I see one from Pennsylvania.
There
Not
we
sure
go.
if it's east or west. All right, I'll take it. Up on the stream, but it's interesting. Both dugouts down the third base line, so stay here in the Maccabi games. First pitch, and we are underway with a foul ball just after the
Come on, Jonah!
The fence in both dugouts.
If they weren't up against the fence, I don't know that they'd be able to see.
Yeah, especially because there's a fence dividing the two with the United States in the back. You make a good point there, but it's definitely
go out of play foul. 175. Will be a rising freshman in college. He's playing center field, but catch as well. Rare combination. This one's hit skyward down the third base line. And an outstanding catch up against the fence over there. Noam Goldberg, an acrobatic play for the first half.
Yeah, he was falling down. I mean, first of all, he has to battle the sun that's directly in his eyes when looking up. Second of all, he was right up against the United States fence. People had to go back to get out of the way.
Now batting for Team USA, number 21.
What a way to start on defense for Israel today.
Outstanding play. And now Jackson Cohen's getting some words from Natterman of what he saw against the That's Kempton getting one. Takes ball. Again, all righties against this left.
Come on, Jonah!
Tie shoe timeout for Weissman.
That one!
He might be getting some good natural sound here from the game as the first base comes
Now,
right.
you 2-1.
Game.
Goodman. Ball to Cohen. Cohen, a New York native. Those players
Come on, Jonah!
all over, East Coast to West Coast. And he takes a walk. First base runner of the game belongs to the United States, and a runner aboard for the first baseman, Nate Kempton.
Yeah, you can see how much it means for the United States to get these early base runners. You know, Cohen on his way down to the first base line, clapping and looking towards his teammates, looking for a little bit of encouragement there. It's super important for the United States to get a from this game and try to steal two early.
First pitch is high to the first baseman, Kempton. Always more difficult to steal bags against a lefty. 3-3 over here. Always difficult against a guy like Weissman. Down 2-0. Suddenly Weissman struggling a little bit with his command. Barreled into the outfield for a base hit. Stopping at second is Cohen, two aboard with one out here for the U.S.
Yeah, good piece of hitting there from Kempton.
Now batting for Team
Game one of
USA,
this.
number 44,
Mound.
Sir Applebaum.
There's a strong fastball. Once he gets to the plate himself, he's not afraid to swing at any pitch on the mound. A great piece of hitting to start. Two men on field.
To see it's a shame that most of them have to drop one or two at some point.
Yeah, I'm sure Shohei will. They know whatever he does on the baseball field.
And off of it.
Yeah, true.
Asher Applebaum to the plate. The catcher for the U.S. takes high.
Definitely a little sloppy here for Weissman on the mound. His controls are lost. He pitches all out of the zone when you've got 2-1, especially this early in the game.
Applebaum. Mentioned these guys come from coast to coast. Applebaum from California, Chaminade High School. From Southern California, but his favorite player is Buster Posey. Soft little pop. And it'll be the catcher, Eitan Egas, for the second out.
Yeah, two similar outs for the Israelis in this first inning. Two pop-ups out of play that they were able to run after. Seems like the sun's not bothering them yet. They're just determined to make these catches.
Battling the sun and the wind. And now they'll have a little chat on the mound with Weissman, as well as head coach Freddie Bain for the Israeli side, trying to get out of this jam.
Yeah, it's super important here that Israel keeps the ball on the ground and tries to get an out and play here. You can't let anything get into the outfield, especially if it falls. You're going to see Cohen try to round third as quick as possible, especially if there's two outs. Any ball in the outfield you're running, you're trying to go. So anything for Israel to prevent the run here.
Now Samson Knopf, the left fielder for the United States. 2 on, 2 out. First pitch misses. From it, couldn't get the call from umpire Daniel Saltzman. Kempton at first, Cohen at second. Reached the now. In the air towards right center field. Over fellow Novicius, and he makes the play. United States strands 2, puts up a goose egg. We head to the bottom of the first. Israel coming up to bat.
Apparently they couldn't hear any commentary.
Here in Israel, Brandon Emmanuel on the mound for the United States. Defense around him. Asher Applebaum is doing the catching. Nate Kempton at first. Brady Feldman at second. Sam Swidarski at third and Jackson Cohen at short. Knopf is in left. Natterman's in center and Stone is in right. Playing center field here. That is quite the task. So much ground to cover. It is 475 to center field here. So much ground to cover. Left and right are pretty shallow. 306 to left, and what was it, 336 to right.
334, yeah. I'm sure it's not the first time the broadcast has heard this, especially from us American broadcasters, but it reminds you of the Polo Grounds.
100%.
It's a ridiculously long way out, and we talked about it pregame. If any ball gets behind the center fielder or in that right center field gap, it's going to be hard to track down. Just got to put the wheels on. As long as you don't run like Kyle Schwarber, you should be able to score an inside the Parker.
Fellow Movicius went around there for strike one. After him, it'll be Arbel and Brooker to get things started for Israel in the home half of the first. Called strike at the bottom of the zone. First base coach for Israel, Yuri Shani, cannot believe it. Emmanuel working quickly out there. He's got places to be, huh? Swing and a miss, strike three. Quick work of Felmovicius and a strong start for Brandon Emanuel in the United States on the defensive side and pitching.
Yeah, this is exactly what we were talking about for either side when we started the game today. It's who can have the most, who can provide the most on defense at the start of the game. If the United States wasn't able to work towards scoring a run there with 2 on and 1 out, now they have to shut down the Israeli defense and get back to offense here to try and start the game and bring the momentum to their side.
So now Yahav Arbel is up and takes that one low. I would say in the dirt, but it's all turf here at Ezra Schwartz Memorial Field, both the grass, traditional grass area and traditional dirt area. But I've noticed the turf in Israel isn't quite as hot as it is in the States as there's a called strike, which is a good thing because if they had those same number of black beads that we see on the turf in the U.S., my goodness, it would be brutal out here.
Yeah, I mean, especially since I see a couple of the umpires, they all have black shoes on. You don't want them to walk around and have the soles of their shoes melt as they're trying to run around.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Arbel. Barreled up and into the outfield for a base hit. 2-strike hit for Yahav Arbel, and just like the U.S., Israel gets their first base runner with 1 out.
Yep, and just like the U.S. and Israel especially, if you're going to allow that early base runner, let's see if the United States can convert and keep them from scoring a run just as Israel did to them. It's all about keeping runners off base and staying the momentum in your direction.
A little bit more about Emmanuel, the starting pitcher. Rising senior at West Boca High School in Parkland, Florida. As that one's hit in the air towards right. That's Ben Stone's territory, a diving grab. That one was fading away from him. He had to scramble at the end. If that gets down, that's trouble.
Look at how much it means there. This first inning has been all about flashy defense from both sides. Two strong catches out of bounds for the Israeli defensive side to start the game, and now an incredible diving catch from Stone in right field. What a way to start this game. Everybody's fired up.
And the defense has been a story on the American side throughout this series. I was talking to Tyler Bermudo, and he said errors were such a problem the first handful of games, but the last 2, which have both been U.S. wins, he's really been proud of the way they've cleaned that up, as well as cleaned up the walks.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up. You know, in the first couple games of this series, there were a lot of walks and a lot of hit batters for the United States. I believe they had 11 walks in Game 2 alone.
In a no-hitter.
In a no-hitter that they won.
And there was a hit by pitch and a couple of errors mixed in there as well.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a 4-2 no-hitter. I mean, there was an MLB game, I believe, where I think it was the Reds and the Pirates, where the Pirates threw a no-hitter and they still ended up losing the game. So, I mean, anything is possible in the game of baseball, but pretty impressive. But to see that there's a lot of contact happening at the beginning of this game, it should be a good viewing for those watching at home. It should be a strong baseball game today, everything on the line.
Conversation between all 4 umpires, wondering if they're discussing that play and right. From our perspective, it looked like Stone secured it.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like his glove slid under the ground before I could at least view the ball coming down. It looks like he made a pretty strong catch. He came up with it. He was emphatic that he had it in his glove. I think they're going to keep rolling here as if it was a catch, and the game will continue.
So 2 outs and a runner on first for the cleanup man and designated hitter Yahel Barkaye. Right-handed hitter wearing number 7. Check back at first, nothing doing from Arbel. Will Hopkins and Zach Karpf here with you. Israel Baseball stream live on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in wherever you're watching around the world. Game 7 between the U.S. and Israel. Runner goes, pitch is low, throw to second is late, and it's a stolen base for Arbel, moving himself into scoring position with 2 away.
Yeah, you definitely have to be careful with any kind of throw. Anytime the ball is in the air, it's going to fly with the air blowing out towards right center field. Anything is possible here, so you got to keep your throws tight. Got to throw down on those steal attempts, but there's still 2 outs, there's still 2 outs here. So anything that Israel can do to advance their runner, a ball through any gap, could score Arbel here.
And he'll be going on contact with 2 outs. So any hit to the outfield, you'd think he'd score. Emanuel and Barkaye. Runner goes for third. Pitch is low, and there will be no throw down there. A walk for Barkaye. And now runners on the corners with 2 outs. Israel threatening here in the home half of the first.
Yeah, a pretty dangerous position here for the United States. Israel taking advantage of any opportunity they can. Arbel looking to go for the double steal there, depending on the call there from the umpire on that last pitch. But runners on the corners with 2 outs. It could be a dangerous game.
Full infield meeting, as well as head coach Wayne Stofsky, and I was told he's playing a little bit injured. Messed up his knee just trying to get loose, but he's battling through it.
Yeah, there's no excuses here. This is Game 7.
Yeah.
You got to do everything you can to get out on that field.
Everyone's dealing with a little something, right?
Yep, it's been a long series between these two teams, hard fought on both sides. I'm not surprised that there might be an injury or 2 on each side, but there's nothing that can stop a team from playing in a game like this in an elimination, not an elimination match, but a medal match here. The winner takes gold. There's nothing left to play for other than that medal. You just got to keep pushing through it.
Israel took Game 1 6-5 on Wednesday, no game Thursday. Friday, the U.S. won 4-2 to even things up, and then when the series really flipped in Israel's favor was on Sunday. 6-0 and 4-3, they swept the doubleheader, and the U.S. winning 11-2 on Monday and 4-2 yesterday to set up this all-important Game 7 here today. So Arbel at third, Barkai at first, and Noam Katz, the shortstop, is at the plate as Emmanuel tries to get out of this jam in the first. First pitch is downstairs. Somebody brought a drum to the park.
A little bit of Zombie Nation here brings out the Penn Stater in me, doesn't it?
Hit in the air, left field. Knopf is under it, and he's got it. Both teams strand 2 runners. No runs across for either side. We head to the second inning. Still scoreless here in Renanana. Welcome back to Renana, Ezra Schwartz Memorial Field. Top of the second inning, scoreless here in Game 7. Will Hopkins and Zach Karpf here with you. U.S. and Israel playing for gold on the baseball diamond. Thanks for tuning in on the Israel Baseball YouTube channel. Proud to have you along. Morning time in America, afternoon here in Israel. Both teams threatening, but nobody able to put one across.
Yeah, it's super important to try and get the first run here. It'll mean everything to put to the pace of this game, whoever gets to score first.
Jonah Weissman back out for his second inning. Gave up a walk and a single in the first. As Swiderski takes a strike to even the count. Sam Swiderski, the New York native, can play both corner infield positions and pitch. He's playing third today. And one just inside, 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. Went fishing and came up empty. Swiderski from Davis Renov Stoller Yeshiva High School for boys. Gets the bat on this one, hits it in the air pretty deep in left field, and that is going to split the gap. Off the fence over there, he's gunning for third base. And he's going to slide in safely. A leadoff triple for Sam Swiderski. And a great start to the top of the second for the Americans.
Yeah, that's exactly what the hitters need to do in this ballpark, especially because the fences are so far out and the wind is in their favor today. Bounce right off of the net, run as fast as you can, get right around. A great way to start on offense for the United States. Let's see if they can convert here.
And if you're the U.S., runner on third, nobody out, he's got to score. Doesn't matter how, sac fly,
Got to get the ball out of the infield.
Yeah, no matter what it takes, you can't leave him stranded there. First up will be Ari Einhorn to try and get him in. Takes ball one. Also, of course, we'll need to be mindful of any ball in the turf dirt around catcher Eitan Agus. There's a low strike. Sam Swiderski, big time triple, standing 90 feet away from getting the scoring started. Swing and a miss at a pitch well above the zone.
Yeah, you got to make sure you don't get too jumpy. You know the batter's going to be excited. You've got that runner on third. You really want to put the ball in play here to put your team up early, but you can't be swinging at bad pitches like that are way above the zone. Got to make sure you stay composed.
Gets the bat to this one, shallow right field. Will it be deep enough? No tag from third base, and it's a pop out. And the U.S. 0 for 1 now with Swiderski at third. Next up to give it a try, Brady Feldman. Feldman wearing number 0, playing second base. From Miami, Florida, Riviera Prep. And the U.S. is in trouble here.
See, this is exactly what you don't want to see. We just talked about being composed and playing to your strengths. You had a runner on third with only 1 out. You really can't be making risky base running plays like that.
Looked like they may have had the squeeze on. It did not work out. And Swiderski, after the leadoff triple, is out on the base paths, and just like that, 2 outs and nobody on.
Yeah, you know, as a Phillies fan, I'm accustomed to seeing interesting base running decisions, being that Bryce Harper's on my team, but that would be one of the more interesting decisions I've ever seen.
Feldman fouls that one off. What a break for Israel.
Yeah, seriously, all the momentum was in the United States' favor with a blast for a leadoff triple. Now there's nobody on and 2 outs. It's almost like it's a completely different game.
2 strikes on Feldman. One of the first big moments in this game, you'd have to say.
Yeah, definitely a turning point. It's almost like everybody was deflated. You know, they got to keep that. You got to keep your heads up. It's only the early part of the game, but you can't be making silly mistakes like that in a game like this.
Israeli infield was headed for the dugout there. They thought they had strike 3, not to be. Feldman stays in there. Weissman trying to work around that leadoff triple. He's most of the way there. On deck for the U.S., Ben Stone, and then back to the top if they can get that far here in the second. The lefty's delivery. Inside, count runs full. Feldman's favorite Jewish food is Hamantaschen. He watches strike 3. Outstanding composure from Weissman after that leadoff triple. Ends up facing the minimum. Gets Feldman looking for his first strikeout. We head to the bottom of the second, still scoreless. Rolling audio only here, having some problems with the video, and those problems with the video are hurting the audio as well, so going to try to get things straightened out. Will Hopkins alongside Zach Karpf here with you. Ezra Schwartz Memorial Field. A leadoff triple for the United States. A failed squeeze attempt. Ended up bringing the minimum to the plate. And now Israel comes up to bat. They'll have 6, 7, and 8. Jerez, Goldberg, and Medhani.
Yeah, a really disappointing way for that inning to end for the United States. We've been talking all day about bringing the momentum to your side first. It looked like all the momentum was in the United States' favor there with that incredible leadoff triple, but obviously nothing to show for it. You know, it gives Israel another chance to start this game on their side.
1 ball and 1 strike to left-handed hitting Jerez. Brandon Emmanuel, the righty, on the mound for the U.S. Jerez wearing number 50. Playing left field today for Israel. So he awaits the 1-1. Swings on it. High in the air. Left field drifting towards the line, and that's going to bounce in front of the left fielder, Knopf. Turning for second, Jerez. He's going to slide in there. Israel sees the U.S.'s leadoff extra base hit, and they respond with a double of their own. In business here in the second inning.
Yeah, this is pretty much what you call direct competition. Both teams copying each other basically for every move on this in the start of this game today. Nobody wants to lose. Nobody wants to give up any of the momentum. It's anybody's game still.
We'll see if Israel can execute with a leadoff runner in scoring position better than the United States did. First up, Noam Goldberg, the third baseman, wearing number 8. Goldberg can also pitch. Today, just hitting at least for now. First pitch to him is downstairs, 1-0. Jerez at second after his leadoff double. Scoreless ball game, so pivotal in just a 7-inning game to score first. Swing and a high fly ball, left center field, and that'll split the gap between Natterman and Knopf. Easily scoring from second, Jerez into second with an RBI double, Noam Goldberg. Israel scores first. It's 1-0.
Yeah, what a great piece of hitting there. Almost the same exact spot that Swiderski hit his in the last inning. A really great piece of hitting there. And Israel takes the lead early. They have the momentum in their hands. It's up to them to keep it. What a pivotal run to start this game.
1-0 Israel. And that will be it for Brandon Emmanuel. A new pitcher will come on with a runner on second. Nobody out in the second inning, and Israel leading it 1-0.
Yeah. Hold on. Jonah, Cohen, 2. All right, we're ready when you are. We're on?
1+ inning from Brandon Emmanuel. Now Jonah Cohen comes in. The righty, 6'1", 165 from your state, Pennsylvania. And Cohen comes in a tough spot. Israel's already taken the lead, and they're threatening with a second run with Goldberg standing at second after that RBI double.
Yeah, and no outs to match for it. Israel holding all the momentum right now. For the United States, I'm not surprised that only an inning and third they're putting a new pitcher in. It's Game 7. A fresh arm means everything, especially when the momentum is not in your favor.
And you talked about how important it would be who has the starting pitching advantage so far, Israel, and so far they've got the advantage on the scoreboard. Cohen plays all over the place, middle infield, third base, and now you see him pitching. He is from Philly. He'll be attending Syracuse in the fall. The 18-year-old was the MVP of his high school team, Offensive Player of the Year, and senior captain. School record 14 strikeouts in one game, 104 throughout his career, and he bat over 500. His fastball sits 80 to 84, slider in the low 70s. And his favorite Jewish food, really more Israeli food, is shawarma. And you'd be happy to know his favorite player, Bryce Harper.
It's always a good choice. MV3, the showman.
Always a good choice might be a stretch, but
well,
whatever.
Coming from a Braves fan, I don't expect you to know anything. 2 games back, by the way, in the National League East.
Still back, though. Still back, though. Left-handed hitter Jonas Medhani, the first one to face Jonah Cohen. The first to check down at second. Goldberg back safely. Medhani, the first baseman, batting from the left side, facing Cohen. The U.S. has got a couple of number 13s on the team. We see Cohen pitching. Swidarski, the third baseman, is also number 13. I guess in baseball, compared to other sports, it doesn't matter all that much.
Yeah, you know, some say lucky number 13. Some say, you know, Friday the 13th. Could have a lot of different connotations.
Yeah, some
Might just be a
hotels
favorite
choose,
number.
Some hotels choose not to even have one.
Everybody has their thing.
Cohen's hearing it right now from the Israeli dugout, and as a righty, he's looking right at them. Both dugouts down the third base line. Try to tune that out. Pitch to Medhani. Misses.
You know, that drum cadence almost reminds you of the Norwegian row. It's the first thing I thought about when I heard it.
I feel like I'm at the WBC.
Oh, yeah. The crowd is electric right now, especially since the Israelis have the lead.
Cohen finds the zone with that one. Trying to get that first out in this second inning. We'll check back at second. An awkward slide back in there. I think that hit the hand of the base runner, Goldberg.
Yeah, that was also an awkward step off the mound. It was a really slow turn there for Cohen. It almost looks like he couldn't decide whether he wanted to throw it or not.
Now home with it. Upstairs, ball 4. Medhani takes his base. Runners on first and second with nobody out for the 9th place hitter and catcher, Eitan Agus.
Another scary position for the United States. Bringing a fresh arm didn't work for them immediately, but they still have a few chances to try and get out of this inning with only 1 run allowed. Let's see how Cohen responds to this leadoff walk for him here.
Agus shows bunt, pulls it away. Pitch is called a ball. 1 ball and no strikes to the catcher. One nothing Israel. They scored on back-to-back doubles here in the second. Agus showing bunt again, pulls it back. Another ball, 2-0.
Pretty impressive pop-up time there for Applebaum. He's ready. He doesn't want Israel to have any other opportunities, as if they can't afford it right now, which is very true.
2 balls and no strikes. Cohen to Agus. This time he's swinging away and he fouls it straight back.
Yeah, if you're Israel, your thoughts are anything in the outfield is good. You want to try and advance those runners, keep the ball on the ground. If you can expand your lead here, it'll mean everything for the later stages of the game.
The 2-1 pitch. Another foul ball straight back, 2-2. And even though they've already scored a run, almost have to forget about that. First and second, nobody out. You expect to score from that position.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a scary position for the United States to be in. It's testing their composure, especially in a game as pivotal as this.
The 2-2 pitch to the catcher. Popped up and out of play. We'll do it again. What's the call here? Runners all advanced.
Yeah, this seems a little confusing here. And Agus is super excited, pumped up as he's running down the field. Everybody's looking around like, what the heck just happened? We thought it was just a foul ball there.
It's a weird field here. Our view is not the best view I've ever had. We're working with what we've got.
Yeah, I'm sitting.
And there's some confusion from the U.S. players, so that makes me feel a little bit better.
Right, yeah, I'm sitting perpendicular to the first base bag with Will sitting to my right. We have a very interesting view. We can barely see down the right field line here. So that ball was popped up past us over our heads, so it was kind of hard to tell what was going on there.
Swing and a miss on the first pitch to Felovicius.
It's almost like nothing can go the United States' way so far.
Bases loaded, nobody out, trailing 1-0. This is a huge sequence for Jonah Cohen against Mayor Felomovicius. Excuse me, Felomovicius. Two balls and a strike, I believe the count. No scoreboard here either.
Yeah, the scoreboard is actually right above our heads.
That's hit on a line, a diving grab at center by Natterman. Saved a run, if not two. It was hit hard. Natterman coming straight in, lost his cap, but got the ball.
Yeah, pretty incredible there to make the diving catch in front of him pop up and throw the ball back to the cutoff man. No runners advance for Israel. The United States records their first out. Maybe we're seeing the start of something here, but Israel still with two more chances to capitalize off of the bases loaded opportunity.
So now Yahav Arbel, he singled and stole a bag in the first. Bases still loaded, one out. Arbel takes high. Inning started with back-to-back doubles, and that's how Israel got this 1-0 lead. Since then, a walk, I think a single, in the line-out. We're still not sure what happened there, as there's a called strike to Arbel, 1-1.
Yeah, I think to Israel, they don't really care what the call was there. They're just happy to have another runner on base.
Absolutely.
For the U.S., it probably meant everything.
1-1, swing and a miss. Got something dipping down under his bat, and now 1-2. Cohen looking for out number 2. The righty's delivery. Tipped into the mitt for strike 3. Big second out. And now Omer Brooker is the difference between the U.S. limiting Israel to 1 run and Israel coming up with a big number here in the second. Feels like a really pivotal at-bat in this game.
Yeah, this is Game 7. Every swing, every at-bat, every pitch, everything counts. There's nothing that you can do that's not consequential here.
First pitch fly over towards the soccer goal down the right field line, and that is a foul ball.
I was just about to say, are we sure that was a foul ball that time? I feel like I'm going to have to look to ask every time the ball goes over there.
There's a weird area over there with a soccer goal that has some wonky rules. Which we'll get into. We have a bit more time, not with the bases loaded here and 2 outs. 0-1 count to Omer Brooker, the right fielder, with an Israeli on every base. Foul ball, 0-2. Cohen a strike away from getting out of this jam.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be on the mound there. My heart would be pumping out of my chest. It's all about how Cohen can keep his composure here.
No balls, 2 strikes. The delivery, just a bit high. Goldberg is at third. Medhani is at second, and Agus is at first. Jonah Cohen's pitch. Hit in the air towards right, in and then out for Ben Stone. He's under it, and 3 Israelis are left stranded. They score 1, but that is it. We head to the 3rd inning. Israel on top here in Game 7, 1-0. Welcome back. Top of the 3rd inning, 1-0 Israel in front. And we got some clarification on what happened there that allowed the catcher Agus to reach. It was catcher's interference on the American catcher Applebaum. Now that we have that cleared away, we were talking during the break. Yes, Israel took the lead, but the fact that they only scored 1 kind of feels like a win for the U.S.
Yeah, definitely a big downer for the Israeli team here to have bases loaded. I believe with only 1 out. With only 1 out.
Yep.
It's a pretty incredible opportunity to swing all the momentum in your favor. Just 2 innings into the 7-inning contest.
Actually, no outs.
No outs. See, even more of a reason there. You can't squander opportunities like that in a Game 7. I'm not saying that they're not going to have other opportunities to score. It's only the top of the third, but you really can't let opportunities like that go to waste.
They might get more opportunities, but none will be any better than that.
Exactly.
Bases loaded, nobody out. And the U.S. had a runner on third and no outs, couldn't score him either. As we start here, the top of the third, first pitch swinging, and a ground ball from Ben Stone. Over to second, the peg to first is in time. One pitch, one out. Haven't seen many ground balls.
Yeah, seriously, that was the first one. A lot of these balls are escaping to the outfield, as we talked earlier about the wind being a major factor in today's game.
Still Jonah Weissman out there on the bump for Israel, and now back to the top of the order for the U.S., Danya Natterman, the Atlanta native. He flew out in foul territory. Noam Goldberg, an acrobatic catch up against the netting by third base to start this one.
Yeah, it's almost like he wanted a little bit of revenge there because he had his own acrobatic catch last inning to save an early run. I believe he got the first out and started that defensive rally there for the United States.
A diving play in center, saved a run if not two. Pitch to him is upstairs. Now the lefty brings it homewards. Swinging a drive, right field fairly deep, but Brooker is under it and makes the play.
I think I see that he has his sunglasses on top of his hat, which is kind of hard to believe because I'm squinting over here and I'm sitting in the shade. To be able to catch that ball, that's crazy to me.
The thing with sunglasses on top of your hat is they don't help.
No, that is true. It kind of defeats the purpose entirely.
You know what I recently learned is the Braves actually installed a rule under Bobby Cox that you couldn't do that. If you're going to do that, you had to put him backwards because he didn't want anybody covering up the A on the hat. Pretty interesting rule. So Jackson Cohen is up for the U.S., and he takes a strike. 2 up, 2 down here in the third.
Yeah, it seems like the hitters are going to have to take a little bit of a different approach here as the wind has gone from going to the outfield now towards the right side of the field. So balls are going to start flying in our direction here. You might see a lot more foul balls. You might even see a very interesting thing happen if the ball goes towards that soccer net down the first base line.
Hit in the air, right side, just beyond the infield. The second baseman, Arbel, is under it. 1-2-3. First 1-2-3 inning for either side. We head to the bottom of the third. Still 1-0 Israel.
Do you want to mute it? Yeah, can you mute it?
Back here in Renana, 1-0 Israel. They're back to the plate in the bottom of the third. Staying out there on the mound for the U.S. is Jonah Cohen, and why not? He came in, the runner on second, nobody out. Ended up seeing a couple of reach, one of them not his fault with the catcher's interference, but it ended up being bases loaded with nobody out, and he got out of that jam unscathed.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with a slow start as long as it leads to you starting. And so Jonah Cohen definitely took advantage of his time, took advantage of his fielders behind him, trusted those in the outfield. Definitely a huge boost to United States. Toronto only keep them to one, the 1-2-3 inning on offense. Not ideal, but they get another chance to shut Israel down here in the bottom of the third.
Barcaye, Katz, and Jerez, the three up for Israel. We've teased the soccer goal rule a couple of times, so go ahead and straighten that out as Cohen gets back to work. His first pitch to Barcaye is a called strike on the inner half. So there's a soccer goal where the posts are on the foul line. down the right field line. And those posts, if it hits the posts, they're in play. If it goes in the goal, as the goal's facing towards the outfield, first a ground ball just to the left of first base. And Kempton will take it to the bag himself for the first out. 1 up, 1 down. If it goes in the goal, as that goal is facing towards the outfield, it's a ground rule double. But if it goes behind the goal, which is what would normally be in foul territory, that's actually out of play. So you can't catch the ball behind that goal. Instead, it's out of play. And one of many interesting field components here at Ezra Schwartz Memorial Field.
Yeah, quite interesting. I was actually here for a soccer match earlier in the week. It's pretty interesting how they have the field laid out here, as we talked about earlier, 475 out to center field with the corners in pretty close. It's like almost anything could happen on the magical baseball field.
Called strike and then a pitch in the dirt to Noam Katz, 1-1. Katz flew out to left field to end the first inning. Katz playing shortstop. As Cohen pauses and now is ready to bring the 1-1. And that came in and hit Katz. 1 out base runner for Israel on the hit by pitch. Looked like it was something off speed, and he doesn't seem too bothered by it. It's Game 7. You're going to wear it regardless.
Yeah, and you can wear it with pride, too. Another 1 out base runner for Israel here. Seems like the momentum on offense is still very much in their favor, without even regarding the fact that they left 3 on in the bottom of last inning.
Daniel Jerez had the double that got the second inning started. He scored on Goldberg's double immediately after. A lefty trying to do some more work here in the third. Takes high. Katz at first, Jerez at the plate. Check over at Katz, and he's back safely. 1-0 Israel, striking in the second inning. Both teams haven't made the most of their opportunities with runners in scoring position. That pitch is hit high in the air to center. Natterman getting turned around, but in the end, finding it and throws it back in. No advance from Katz as he scampers back.
Yeah, 2 outs here now for Cohen. The Israeli bench has been yelling at him the entire inning. It's almost seemed to not faze him at all. You know, maybe that hit by pitch got him jarred a little bit, but I guess it wouldn't, seeing that there's 2 outs. He looks pretty composed on the mound there, looking to shut Israel down and give his team another chance on offense.
Smack talk should be expected from 16, 17, 18-year-old baseball players. And now Noam Goldberg, who has that RBI double. Check over at first. Katz back safely. Goldberg's double the difference in this game right now. The pitch home is low, 1-0. Goldberg batting 7th in this Israeli order. It was the bottom half of the order that really did the work for them to score in that second inning. That one's going to get by Applebaum and over to second base for Katz as he gets in without a throw. So now a runner in scoring position on the wild pitch. Single could give Israel another run. There's a strike.
Yeah, getting ahead of the count early will be the key for Cohen here on the mound. You don't want to give Israel any other opportunities. Just keep your composure. Try to end this inning.
Hit in the air to center. Natterman comes in a few steps and makes the play. He's been busy recording the last 2 outs there. A runner left stranded at second. Still 1-0 Israel through 3 frames. Welcome back. Top of the 4th inning. Glad to see we got the video working for you now. Thanks for tuning in on Israel Baseball YouTube. And thank you to Israel Baseball for allowing us at Maccabi Media to call play-by-play in color for these games. Will Hopkins alongside Zach Karpf. 1-0 Israel. The U.S. went down 1-2-3 in the 3rd, looking for more out of Kempton, Applebaum, and Knopf here in the 4th. Weissman's first pitch is bounced to 3rd. Goldberg makes the peg across, and for the 2nd consecutive inning, just 1 pitch for the first batter.
Yeah, it seems like the United States really isn't content right now. They really need to settle in these at-bats, swinging at the 1st or the 2nd pitch every time. They really need to start letting the count get into that, seeing some pitches, trying to take what's best available to you. But if you see it, swing at it. You can't blame them for that, but especially when you're down 1-0, you want to take the best available options. You still have a couple innings to play. Just try to settle in a little bit.
6 in a row retired by Weissman. Now facing the catcher, Asher Applebaum. And he takes the first pitch strike. A walk and a single in the 1st for the U.S., a leadoff triple in the 2nd. Since then, fly out, a failed squeeze, a strikeout. That came in and hit him. That breaks up the 6th in a row.
Yeah, it was a nice little bouncer off the shin there. Didn't really look like it hurt that much. Taking a nice little jog for Applebaum down to first base. Finally, a base runner for the United States. Let's see if they can turn this into anything here.
He tried to pick up his leg to avoid being hit. The only issue is it hit the other leg. Wouldn't you know it? So now Samson Knopf comes up. He flew out to center to end the 1st. First pitch is barreled up to right, and it bounces in front of Brooker. A 1-out single, and the U.S. got a little something brewing here, 2 on.
Yeah, that's the first hit for the United States since Swiderski was the leadoff hitter in the 2nd inning. The United States finally finding some momentum on offense. 2 runners on, only 1 out. A great opportunity for them to tie this game up. Let's see what they can do with it here.
You're saying since Swiderski's triple, look who's up to bat now. Sam Swiderski. 2 on, 1 out. The Americans trying to tie this one up. Little trouble here for Weissman. Swiderski swing and a miss.
Yeah, it seems the United States dugout is not taking the taunting by the Israeli dugout lightly, as they're now chirping Weissman on the mound. It's an all-out verbal brawl here for both teams.
Swiderski from New York, but his favorite baseball player, Austin Riley. He takes low. And interestingly for Swiderski, a Maccabi family. His mom and uncle both played basketball in the Maccabiah.
Pretty interesting family dynamic here. Now the switch to baseball for Swiderski, chasing that gold medal here today at Ezra Schwartz Memorial Field.
1 ball and 1 strike to the 3rd baseman. Tips that one at the plate, 1-2. For the Americans, it's Applebaum at 2nd. He was hit by a pitch. Knopf at 1st. He singled to right. Swiderski trying to even things up. One out here in the top of the 4th. Things moving along quickly. Reminder, just 7 innings. Israel wanted a strike there, didn't get the call. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The lefty comes set, now home with it. Count runs full. Ari Einhorn, the designated hitter, is on deck. He'll have a chance barring a double play. The payoff pitch. Downstairs, ball 4. The bases are loaded.
Seems like both teams are taking every opportunity. Now the U.S. with their turn to have the bases loaded here with only 1 out. every opportunity to convert here. It's all about what they do with it.
And now Ari Einhorn, the designated hitter, is going to have a chat with third base coach and head coach for the United States, Wayne Stofsky. Wayne, a South Florida native, a Marlins fan. Spent some of his career in TV.
Yeah, I'm sure he's a pretty happy guy right now. The Miami Marlins playing some of the best baseball I've ever seen. I'm sure he's definitely taken that momentum and excitement he has watching his team play in America here to Ranana in Israel to impart upon his team in this Game 7 matchup.
An American on every base. Applebaum at third, Knopf second, Swidarski at first. Ari Einhorn at the plate. He flew out to right field back in the second inning. Big spot here for the U.S. to tie things up or maybe even take the lead. Most traffic that Weissman has faced in any inning. Einhorn takes low, ball one. Back-to-back doubles to start the second for Israel, providing the lone run in this game. Swing and a fly ball, left center field. Perez sprinting over, and it comes out of his mitt. He dropped it. Runners had to hold up, so just one will score, but still the U.S. ties things up. Einhorn's pumped up, and rightfully so.
Yeah, that was an excellent piece of hitting there. Regardless if the ball was caught or not, it gave the United States the ability to tag and tie this game up. Perfect situational hitting there from Einhorn.
Wondering how that one will be scored. Yes, it popped right out of his mitt, but he was on a full sprint to get to it in the first place.
Yeah, it almost looked like he didn't actually have it in his mitt. Maybe he closed his mitt too fast because from my angle, it looked like it bounced off the top of his mitt. Either way, a mistake there in left field.
That's low now to Feldman. Einhorn was eyeing for second base, but Swidarski was just in front of him because he had to wait to see if that ball was caught. So the bases are still loaded with one out. Tipped at the plate by Feldman, 1-1.
A major opportunity here for the United States. They've already swung the momentum in their favor by tying this game up. It's all about what happens here on the mound for Feldman. If he can put the ball in the outfield, that's another run. The United States can take the lead here. It's important to not allow a ground ball to come in here for a double play opportunity. Get the ball in the outfield.
Pops this one up right side by us. And on top of this.
I believe it's a storage container.
Yeah, I couldn't think of the word.
Yeah, seriously. You could kind of call it anything at this point. It's just a box.
A building block for a Qatari World Cup stadium.
I was going to go there next. I'm sure it didn't cost $2 billion to build this this field, though.
We're happy to have it, though.
Yes, yes, we are. It's a beautiful day here in Ranana on this amazing turf field. We are lucky to be here for this Game 7.
Feldman at the dish, bases full of Americans. Popped up, right side. This one will stay in play, and the right fielder Brooker makes the grab. No advance from any American base runners, 2 outs.
All right, 2 outs, bases loaded. A similar situation to what Israel was facing in the second. Let's see if the United States can convert here and take the lead.
Kind of like what we said with Israel. Yeah, they've already scored, but you almost have to forget that and think about, hey, you had bases loaded with, for Israel, no outs. For America, 1 out. This is such a good opportunity to score more. And if Israel can get out of this with just 1 run allowed, it might be considered a success for them. But it won't be Jonah Weissman to face off against Ben Stone. We'll see who it is in just a bit. Top of the fourth inning. 1 run in for the U.S. They're looking for more. Bases are loaded. Ninth place hitter Ben Stone up to bat. New pitcher for Israel, the Renana native. Yair Browse comes in after 3 2/3 from Jonah Weissman. And that play out in left center field was charged an error to left fielder Daniel Jerez. Even though he was on a full sprint, was determined that he was under it. So bases loaded, 2 outs.
Yeah, this at-bat is going to be huge for Stone here. His first at-bat came in the in the third inning here. It was a ground out on the first pitch, so he's only seen 1 pitch. This is probably the most crucial. It is the most crucial at-bat for the United States so far. If they get this ball through the ground and into the outfield, it'll score another run, give the United States the lead. Stone has to settle in and take a pitch or two here to find his magnum opus here and get that ball into the outfield. And
with 2 outs, everyone will be going on contact. Browse the righty against Stone the righty. First pitch, ball 1.
We're already on the right pace here.
Stone takes ball 2. 1-1. A run from Israel in the second, a run from the U.S. here in the fourth. Both teams with their second pitcher of the game out there. Yair Browse for Israel. Finds the zone, 2-1. If Stone can keep the line moving, it would mean a run for the U.S., and it would also mean back to the top of the order. 2 balls and 1 strike with the bases loaded in the top of the fourth. 3-1 and nowhere to put him. A little scream let out there by Ben Stone.
Come on, buddy. You're still in the middle of the at-bat. Set back up and get ready. It's okay to be pumped up, but get pumped up after ball 4.
The 3-1. There's ball 4. Now he screams, and now the U.S. has their first lead. It's 2-1.
Yeah, a pretty unfortunate way for Israel to give up the lead there. You never want to give up a bases-loaded walk.
Knopf scores, Swidarski to third, Einhorn to second. And like I said, back to the top with Danya Natterman. 0 for 2 so far, has played really nicely in the field. We'll see if he gets rewarded at the plate.
It's rare that you ever see that somebody so excited about a walk. I mean, it's nice, but this walk definitely means everything here, taking the lead midway through this Game 7 matchup.
First pitch swinging, fouled back. You know, I've seen reactions for a walk. I don't know I've seen that big of a reaction for ball 3.
Yes, you know, that was definitely – I commented on it earlier. It was pretty impressive. But, you know, at the same time, you know, you're in the middle of an at-bat. You got to keep your focus. But apparently he still did, waited on that ball, allowed the U.S. to take a 2-1 lead here.
Called strike 0-2. Natterman the 8th to the plate for the U.S. here in the fourth. They'd been batting 10 throughout the series, but here in Game 7, just the typical 9 batters. Israel's been batting 9 throughout. No balls and 2 strikes to the center fielder. He stays alive. Can really blow this game open with a base knock, or even more so with extra bases. Another 0-2 coming from Browse. Ground ball, left side, foul.
Wow, that hit would have meant everything if it stayed fair over the third base bag.
Scored 2 or 3.
Scored 2 at a minimum, especially with the way that this field is shaped. And the left fielder is so far shaded to the right, he's almost like smack in the middle of left center field.
He has to be, because center field's so big and left field's so small. He's got to help out his center fielder.
Yeah, the defensive area, there's so much to cover, but that ball, if it was fair, would have absolutely scored 2.
Another 0-2 incoming from Browse. Hit sharply up the middle and through for a base hit. 1 run scores. A 2nd run scores. Over to third for another base runner in Stone, and into second for Natterman. It's now 4-1, U.S. on top.
Yeah, this game has been the Natterman game. A great defensive effort last inning, and now another great hit. Advanced to second on the play as the second baseman for Israel wasn't paying attention as the ball went to the pitcher for the cutoff. A really great piece of situational hitting there, putting the U.S. ahead. It all rests in the American hands as the momentum is purely in their favor at the moment.
And that should go down as a double, because he was headed to second before the throw came in.
Yeah, it was a couple of stutter steps down the base path there I think I might agree with you here. It's a double here as we now hear.
So second and third for the 9th batter in the inning, Jackson Cohen. 4 runs already home for the Americans after the offense had gone pretty quiet. 5 retired in a row heading in to this inning as there's a called strike, and then the leadoff man was retired. But this offense has really woken up here in the 4th as Cohen takes strike 1. Tipped off the catcher's mask. Hope that Agus is all right. Boy, do catchers take a beating back there.
Yeah, seriously. You're always in harm's way back there. It takes a strong one to play behind the plate there, but looks like he wore that one well, threw the ball right back to the pitcher, and is ready to keep going.
Here we go, Jackson. Stay hot, kid.
Browse trying to get out of this inning. Comes home with it. Swing and a miss, and that will end the frame, but the U.S. strikes with 4 runs. We head to the bottom of the 4th. America up by 3. Bottom of the 4th inning. Israel needs to respond. 4 from the U.S. in the top of the inning. Israel will have 8, 9, and 1 coming up to face Jonah Cohen. And boy, has America taken control of this one.
Yeah, and I think it all started with the composure of Cohen on the mound to help his team get out of that bases-loaded jam. Ever since then, the momentum has swung completely in the United States' favor.
Game 7, gold medal on the line. First pitch strike to Jonas Medhani. He walked in the 2nd inning.
Yeah, and as I said earlier, the momentum is in the United States' favor, but you can't take your foot off. You can't take your foot off the gas here. You have to keep pushing. You can't be content at all, as there's still 3 innings, 3.5 innings left to play in this game.
Pitch swung on, hit towards center, and that'll drop in for a base hit. Leadoff man aboard for Israel. We've talked a lot about making the most of opportunities. Obviously, still plenty of time left in this game for Israel, but they've got to be looking back on that. Bases loaded, nobody out. Yes, they had already scored a run, but they could have gotten more from that, and they wouldn't be trailing by 3 runs right now.
Yeah, you know, it might not have been a 4-4 game, but even 4-2 or 4-3 would feel a lot better than 4-1, especially in the bottom of the 4th of a 7-inning game. Definitely kicking themselves in the foot for that one.
So Eitan Agus is up. He reached on catcher's interference in the 2nd inning. Takes the first pitch ball. Medhani at first. Ground ball to 3rd. They go to 2nd for 1. Over to 1st, a wild throw. So Agus reaches on the fielder's choice, but America gets the lead runner, And now a runner on first and one out back to the top of the order, and Felomovicius. Would have been tight if it was an accurate throw. Not sure if they would have gotten him or not, but still not an error because you can never assume the double play. So fielder's choice for Agus. He's reached on a catcher's interference and a fielder's choice. Felomovicius takes strike one.
Listen, anything you can do to get on base. We've been talking about it all day. It's Game 7. Get on base in any way possible. Hit, no hit, doesn't matter.
Cohen looking over here at Agus. They'll check on the catcher. Back in safely.
Yeah, I believe we've seen 3 disengagements from the United States side so far. I don't think Israel has had a single one so far. The United States really checking on their base runners in this game.
Mayor Felomovicius takes high. Barring a double play, the second baseman, Yahav Arbel, would come up. He's 1 for 2. A fake pick over to first. That was a fake sidearm pick.
I haven't seen something like that maybe ever. That was interesting.
I've seen some more half-hearted fakes, but he put some energy into that.
Yeah, he was ready.
That one's fouled away. Hit towards center. Natterman hardly had to move. He's made a lot of plays. That was one of the easiest ones yet.
Yeah,
and there are 2 outs.
Who else but Natterman? The ball's been flying his way. He's been ready every single time. Some very rare cloud cover gracing the field today. Not something you normally see, that I have at least normally seen in this area in Israel. So definitely the outfielders taking advantage, especially those that aren't wearing their sunglasses.
Shadows don't seem to be a factor on the field, which obviously this time of day they could be. Looks like we'll have a pinch runner over here at first base. That's number 23, Asher Posmanter. Pitcher and infielder. And he'll run for the catcher, Agus. Immediately the U.S. checks on him. So we'll see how things change in the top of the 5th. Posmanter, at least not listed as a catcher.
It looks like the United States has changed their game plan in terms of defense here from the mound. An early stolen base for, I believe it was Arbel at the beginning in the first inning, and then he attempted to steal third. He would have made it if it weren't a walk that was called on that pitch.
But still stolen base because there was nobody on first.
Right, exactly. So definitely a lot of base running seen early. It looks like the United States has switched their game plan. They're not letting Israel get any more free bases.
Arbel's the man at the plate now, but he finds himself down 0-2. Cohen trying to back up that 4-run inning with a 0 spot for Israel. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Nice job by Jonah Cohen to back up that 4 spot and really back up that lead as the Americas up by 3 heading to the 5th. Welcome back for the top of the 5th inning. The United States will have 3, 4, and 5, the same 3 that led off the 4th because all 9 came to the plate. Just to clean some things up, Eitan Agus is still out there catching. It was just a courtesy runner for him, not a pinch runner. So he makes the throw down to second. Now the U.S. trying to build on a 3-run lead. Boy, was it big for them to back that up with a 0-run inning. Jonah Cohen pitching well there.
Yeah, your textbook shutdown inning there. There's nothing you could ask for more. You can't ask for more if you're the United States. That's exactly what you need. Now you're into the 5th. Everything lies in these last couple of innings. If the United States can expand their lead here, it'll make it ever harder for Israel to climb back into this. The gold medal will be looking more theirs with every hit. Got to stay composed and continue to build on this lead here.
Let's go, Nate!
Nate Kempton swings at the first pitch. Grounds it to short. What is that, the 3rd time in 5 innings? 1 pitch, 1 out to start a frame?
Yeah, you know, I've spoken about it before, but composure is the name of the game. You know, you have those opportunities to swing at the first pitch early when you have this kind of lead, but there's no shame in seeing a couple pitches. If you see one you like in first pitch, by all means swing at it, but there's no shame in it.
Now Asher Applebaum, favorite Jewish or Israeli food, shawarma with pita and hummus. Hope that he'll have plenty of that throughout his time here in Israel. I know I sure have.
Yeah, they had falafel with pita and hummus at the Kfar Maccabiah dining hall today. I wonder if he had any for lunch before the game today.
That's where Zach and I are staying, as well as this baseball team. First pitch to Applebaum is upstairs.
Here we go,
4-1 U.S. Israel scored in the 2nd, all 4 for America last frame in the 4th. Ground ball, another chance for the shortstop Cats, and another out. 2 up, 2 down. Samson Knopf trying to prevent the 1-2-3 inning. He singled and scored last inning.
Yeah, I'm looking here. It seems like the Israeli infield is a lot busier on defense. In fact, I'm looking at my scorecard here, and I don't believe there's been a ground ball out that the United States defense has had to make throughout this game. All the balls go out to the outfield. I think it's pretty interesting to see here, but the Israeli defense has been plenty busy, especially to start this inning.
And there's been a fielder's choice, an unassisted ground ball, but no throws really across the diamond. So now Knopf up. Base is empty and 2 outs. Noam Katz so busy at short, he's got to retie his shoe. Knopf from Memphis, Tennessee. Will be a freshman at Indiana next year. Takes high. His sister Daphne is playing volleyball in the Maccabiah. One-0. Count evens 1-1. Goes down and gets that one, bounces it foul. Game 7, U.S. and Israel. Israel up 3-1. The U.S. has taken the last 2, and they're trying to make it 3 in a row and win gold. Knopf takes strike 3. The U.S. goes down in order. Israel coming back to the plate. They've got some work to do, trailing by 3 with 3 innings to play. Hope you had a good fifth inning stretch. Some cheerleaders displaying American and Israeli flags. Good to see the spirit of the Maccabiah. Bottom of the fifth, 9 outs to play with for Israel. They'll have Brooker, Barkai, and Katz up here in the fifth. They haven't scored since the second. They've got to get something going.
Jonah Cohen still on the mound for the United States. They're putting their trust in him. He's been shut down since he came in with no outs there in the second inning during that Israel rally. Let's see if he can continue his momentum here.
Why would you go to anyone else? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. I agree completely.
Reminder, just 7 innings, so Israel's starting to run out of time. First base coach for Israel, Uri Shiri, is trying to get his dugout going. Now they start to respond.
And the drums are still going behind home plate. The Israeli fans, at the very least, are not counting out their team yet. There's everything to play for these last 2.5 innings.
And how could you count them out? It's just 3 runs. You've got a weird park with a big outfield. Anything can happen. 2 balls and no strikes to the right fielder, Brooker. He's flown out twice, both times to right field. Cohen's 2-0 delivery. High and tight, 3-0.
Yeah, Brooker not very happy with that, showing his disapproval of the location of that pitch to Cohen before stepping back in the batter's box.
This time he shows bunt, backs up, but it's in the zone. I know that was a similar location to the first pitch that was also up near his head, but it's a gold medal game and a 3-run game. I'd be shocked if anyone's trying to hit anybody. 3-1, swung on and driven towards left, backing up the left fielder, Knopf, and that bounces off the netting over there. Brooker into second base, a leadoff double, and potentially a good start to a rally here for Israel in the fifth.
Yeah, if Brooker wanted any better way to get back at Cohen for that pitch high and inside, that was it. Took him deep to left field, setting up for a leadoff double for Israel, putting them in a great scoring position to try and chip back at this United States lead.
So now Barkai he's walked and grounded out to first. The thing for Israel is there's a called strike. They don't have to get all 3 runs here in the fifth, but they'd at the least like to get Brooker in from second with nobody out.
Yep, you've got a couple more opportunities on offense. Not to say that this isn't the time to do it, but trying to get Brooker in here, make it a 4-2 deficit for Israel. You got to chip away at that lead any way you can. Any runs count. This is do or die territory here today.
1 ball and 1 strike to the designated hitter. Ground ball to third. Charging in is Swidarski. He makes the peg across. No advance from second for Brooker and an unproductive out for Israel.
It's almost like I just talked about it, that there wasn't a lot of action in the infield there. That was a great textbook play. Look the runner back to second base. Throw to first. A great start there. 1 out here now.
1 out for Noam Katz. He was hit by a pitch in the third. Advanced to second on a wild pitch. Didn't make it past there. First pitch strike. Not only would it be big for Israel to cut into this lead with that runner on second, but if they fail to, you really feel like that could deflate the team.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was enough for the first base coach to have to try and hype them up before the inning. That double definitely helped as they're now all standing and chirping here. But failure to score a run here could be devastating to the Israeli morale.
1 ball and 1 strike, Jonah Cohen and Noam Katz, the pitcher and batter. Swung on, hit on the ground to short. They're going to go to third. The tag is applied in time. Fantastic play to retire the lead runner. Barkai was trying to take the extra base, or excuse me, Brooker was trying to take the extra base, but he's out on the fielder's choice.
Yeah, that feels, momentum-wise, that feels similar to getting picked off at third base from the United States earlier. You know, you have to kind of run there if the ball's in play. Well, there was only 1 out, right? So you didn't have to run there.
No, not at all.
So it seems like an untimely base running mistake here.
I just don't know that the risk is worth the reward, because even if they make the throw to first instead, you're at third with 2 outs. as that's just foul. With how big this outfield is.
Yeah, any opportunity is a good opportunity here.
What I was going to say is, with how big that outfield is, any ball hit out there, you're going to score from second pretty easily. So a little bit surprising to see him go to third. And now we've got an argument on that foul ball from Nate Kempton. He's arguing that his feet were in fair territory. That doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter where the ball is.
And he probably knows that.
Yeah, it's just you try to get any advantage that you can. This is Game 7.
Count evens 1-1 to the left-handed hitting Daniel Jerez. A double and a run scored in the second, a fly out to center in the third.
Would have been a great catch there on the sideline if this were an American football
yeah.
game.
Toe drag swag.
That would have been a Sports Center highlight reel right there, but unfortunately this is the game of baseball. Doesn't apply here.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Jerez. If you're America, it's difficult to not start counting outs. The pitch home floats just outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cats at first after the fielder's choice. Cohen takes a couple of looks at him. Now home with it. Jerez swings and misses. A leadoff double, but Israel can't score a run. A third consecutive 0 on the scoreboard for them. We head to the 6th inning. 4-1, U.S. on top here in Game 7. Top of the 6th inning. U.S. looking to add on to what is already a 3-run lead here in Game 7. And if this series has taught us anything, no lead is safe because Israel led the series 3-1.
Yeah, what an incredible comeback by the United States. Their backs against the wall. Anything is everything. Bringing the series back from 3-1, tied 3-3. Now they have the lead here in the 6th inning of this 7-inning contest. It's down to the wire here for Israel, but for the United States, you've got to be excited about this, the way this storybook series has been playing out. You're almost going to get the storybook ending here, but you got to keep yourself consistent, got to play to your strengths. Don't underestimate your opponent. Anything can happen.
3 runs might seem like a lot, but if Israel gets a couple of runners on, things could get nervy. So the U.S. is definitely looking to pad onto this lead. It'll be Sam Swiderski, Ari Einhorn, and Brady Feldman. First pitch misses. Swiderski, that leadoff triple in the second, but then a failed squeeze attempt. A walk and a run scored in the 4th. Still Yair Browse out there. He's worked an inning and a third so far. That one comes in and almost hits Swiderski.
It's a good thing he got out of the way there. Could have hurt, but as you said earlier, I thought he might have worn that there. A mark of a warrior today.
There's a called strike. It's Game 7. Plenty of time to heal after, right?
Yeah, seriously, they got the rest of the week. They got a nice pool there at the Kfar Maccabiah. Lots of time to relax and recover. But I don't blame him. That probably would have hurt.
Swing and a miss. I think they can get massages as well.
Yeah, I think there's a large athletic training staff that's come here with the Maccabi USA delegation. A lot of dedicated medical professionals. He probably would have gotten the treatment that he deserves and a good one at that, especially if they end up winning this Game 7.
That ball's barreled up towards center. A diving catch coming in by Felimovicius. What a grab.
Seems like the defensive mindset is incredible out there in center field. It's almost like nothing can get past them if it's hit that direction. You know, we've seen a couple of big hits to left center, but if that ball gets anywhere towards the center field area, it's like it's not hitting the ground.
Both sides, Felimovicius and Natterman, have had some fantastic plays out there robbing these hitters. So now Ari Einhorn. Back to those massagers and such. I even saw a player who had got some cupping done. Should we get that done? I've always wondered what it felt like.
Yeah, I've never had that done, but I wouldn't call myself enough of an athlete to even kind of need that.
I definitely am not, but I just want to know what it feels like.
It would be fun to try, but, you know, there's a reason that I'm sitting here at the table calling the game and I'm not out there, you know, playing. So, you know, I'm always down to try it once, but I don't know if it would have, you know, any benefit for me at that point.
There are many reasons why I'm sitting at this table and not playing. Nobody wants to see the alternative. The DH Einhorn takes the ball. He's flown out and reached on an error. Later scored in the fourth. That error could have been ruled a hit. He hit it well to left center, and the left fielder Harris was on a full sprint as he takes another ball. Oftentimes you'll see it where the outfielder has to be kind of camped under the ball for it to be an error. On the flip side, it did get a large part of his mitt. He couldn't haul it in.
Yeah.
I don't think Einhorn will care too much. Individual stats in a Game 7, who cares?
Absolutely. You know, I did talk to you about it earlier. From my vantage point, it looks like his glove was already closed when he tried to get the ball. If that was the case, that's definitely an error on his part.
There's a called strike. First base coach Matt Feldman thinks it should be a hit. His son Brady is on deck. Swinging a fly ball to right center. A late break from the center fielder, Felimovicius, and it pops out of his mitt. All the way to the wall, around second over to third for Einhorn. He's going to get the wave home. The throw comes in, is a beauty, and he is out. I was making sure that catcher Agus held onto the baseball. What a throw.
Yeah, what an opportunity for the United States there. It seems like they got a little bit overzealous with the call to run home. What a relay from the Israeli defense to get that out there.
Yahav Arbel couldn't have walked that ball to the catcher Agus and placed it in his mitt in a better spot.
I'm trying to figure out how to write down that sequence on my score sheet. I don't even know what to put. First, it was probably you would score that.
I would think a hit.
A hit, right? You would score that a hit.
I would think a triple. And then out on the advance home. Ground ball on the right side and through for Brady Feldman.
Yeah, if you're the United States here, especially Einhorn and the third base coach, you know, you're kicking yourself here. That ball through the first base gap would have scored. You would have padded your lead there.
Yep.
Every mistake counts.
It seemed like Felimovicius had a beat on it, and then it just kept tailing away from him, and he ended up having to sprint and lay out.
I mean, that was an incredible distance for him to cover from center field. From where I'm looking at the right fielder from where he's standing right now, to me it would have made more sense for him to make that play. I don't know what the communication was between the two, but
a stolen base there for Feldman. Now he's in scoring position.
Just to continue there must have been some kind of lapse of communication, because to me that would have been the right fielder's ball. Like, Felimovicius had to run so far to get that. There's so much that happened on that play to process.
And I think it's just that he looked so comfortable under it. That might have thrown Brooker off, but how about that relay and that final throw from Arbel? Keeps it at a 4-1 game. Slow breaker stays high. This is Ben Stone up to the plate. Pitched 6 2/3 innings yesterday. Did not hit. So far today at the plate, a bases loaded walk and a ground out.
Yeah, you know what that call home reminded me of? I'll bring it up for the second time this game. I've definitely seen Bryce Harper do that once or twice.
From the outfield or playing first base?
From the out, like No. When he's running the bases. Bryce Harper does not listen to his base coaches. They're a cosmetic figure for him when he's running the bases.
Pitch home to Stone. Fouls it off. Yeah, that play had a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I don't think you could have asked for more action in a game like that. I mean, it definitely took me, a good 60 seconds to process everything that happened. If you're Israel, it's exactly what you could have asked for on a fielding mistake like that to take advantage of if you're the United States.
Israel cannot really afford to give up any more runs. Off speed stays high. And the throw beat him by a good bit, and the tag was applied in time. It was just that there was no call for a bit, and I didn't know if Agus had dropped the ball because there was a good bit of contact. Wouldn't have been surprised if the ball popped out of his mitt.
Right, and it looked like Einhorn tried to hit him with a swim move to go off the side of the plate and slide his hand in there, obviously. Oop.
As that one's lined to center and caught by Felomovicius. A little bit of a wasted opportunity for the Americans. Israel holding on. They trail by 3, looking to cut down that lead when they come to the plate in the bottom of the 6th.
Wait, hold on.
Bottom of the 6th inning. Israel keeping it at just a 3-run deficit. Could have easily been more with the way that top of the 6th went. As Josh Cohen comes back out for the United States. He came in the middle of the 2nd inning, recorded all 3 outs, and then put up zeros in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So this will be his 5th inning of work, 4th clean inning that he started with. And he'll face Noam Goldberg, Jonas Medhani, and Eitan Agus.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see from this angle. I can't tell if anybody's up in the bullpen right now, but you would think that one run or a couple of base runners, you're going to see Cohen take a seat, but the fact that he's been able to keep the momentum going for the United States, when they finally get to having that fresh bullpen arm at the end, it's going to mean the most to their defense.
Absolutely, and as well as he's pitched, as there's a called strike into Goldberg, as well as he's pitched, you got to have somebody ready just in case things start to go awry. But as of now, it's his ball game.
Oh yeah, he's completely taking control on the mound here. It's definitely a huge boon to this United States defense to have a pitcher that's been this consistent in a game like this.
1 ball and 1 strike to the 3rd baseman, Noam Goldberg, who had an outstanding play in the top of the 1st defensively. Those of you who joined us late, a sprawling play up against the netting and foul territory over by 3rd base.
Yeah, I don't think the atmosphere of that catch could have been any harder, being that it was right in front of the United States dugout. I'm sure they were yelling all kinds of things to try and get him to drop that ball.
Takes a strike, 1-2. It's getting late early here for Israel. Got to get something going here in the 6th. Swung on and hit in the air to right center. Natterman calls off everybody and secures it for out number 1. His busy day continues.
Yeah, you just can't get the ball past Natterman right now. He's all over the field. A nice sprint back, called the ball early, got under it. A great defensive play to start the game. Or, excuse me, to start the inning.
And if you're a center fielder in this series, you after the series, you've earned a massage.
Yeah, for sure.
Those legs will need it.
Yeah, for sure. You deserve everything that the athletic trainers can give you.
475 to center. Left-handed hitting. Medhani is up and takes a first pitch strike. Cohen Getting a lot of first pitch strikes, getting ahead of these Israeli batters. Medhani has reached twice, a walk and a single. So he grounds this one to the second baseman, Feldman. Easy play to first, 2 up, 2 down.
Yeah, if you're Cohen, you're loving this right now. 2 quick outs in the 6th. You're giving your team an even bigger boost, putting the ball in play, trusting your fielders. Everything is going perfectly well for this United States defense in this 6th inning.
And here's the thing, as this game gets later, if runners start to get on base, I think that could really increase the nerves. But as long as the bases stay empty, I don't think that gold medal will be on the minds of these players, at least in the nerves department, quite as much.
Yeah, either way, since Israel is the home team, the bottom of the 7th inning will be played. The nerves shouldn't start coming up right now, especially as they're going to have to keep themselves calm in the bottom of the 7th.
And now there will be a base runner as Agus is hit by a pitch. He's reached 3 times. Catcher's interference, fielder's choice, and hit by pitch. An interesting day for him so far, and we'll see if he gets that courtesy runner. He will. And it will be the same runner, Asher Posmater. So back to the top, Mayor Felomovicius. He's 0 for 3. And like we said in the 5th, Israel doesn't need 3 runs here, but 1 or 2 could go a long way in making life easier in the 7th.
Yeah, you're going to enter do-or-die mode pretty soon for Israel, especially now that there's 2 outs in this inning. You do have a base runner. You do want to convert. Any runs matter, especially because the larger the deficit, the higher the nerves are going into this final inning.
Swing and a miss at the first pitch from Felomovicius. Jonah Cohen looking to complete his 5th inning. Felomovicius takes a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Israel trying to keep the line moving. Felomovicius leads things off in this game, so he's the top of the order. They've got some big bats behind him. Ground ball to third. Charging and throwing across, and they can't make the scoop out of the mid of Kempton. He comes up throwing to third. Safe over there. And now runners on the corners after the error.
Yeah, a pretty good play there for Israel. Good situational piece of hitting. Got the ball on the ground, ran it out. An unfortunate throw there. Kempton was not able to make the stretch, although it was a valiant effort. Putting runners on the corners for Israel here with 2 outs. Any opportunity is a good opportunity for the Israelis right now.
And I would think that would go down as an error on the third baseman, Swiderski. Not the most accurate throw. It's a weird angle, kind of going straight over the mound. And now the tying run is at the plate. Yahav Arbel. A single and a couple of swipes in the first. Since then, 2 strikeouts. He shows bunt, pulls it back, throw back to first. Not in time.
Yeah, if you're the United States, it's okay to make that throw down to first to check the runner, but you got to be careful. You did just come off of a throwing error. If that ball goes down the right field line, you're screwed. That's a lot of room for the right fielder to cover. It's a lot of time for the runners to advance.
Ground ball foul, 1-1. Arbel, the second baseman, takes way high. Arbel can pitch as well. Hitting and playing second base today. 2 balls and 1 strike. He represents the tying run in the penultimate inning. Grounds this one on the left side. Another chance for Swiderski, and he makes up for his mistake with a good throw to first. Error doesn't come to bite. We're headed to the final frame in Renana. America up 4-1 in Game 7. top of the 7th and final inning, at least as scheduled. U.S. leads it 4-1. Israel got a little something going in the bottom of the 6th, but could not cash it in. And now we're into the final inning. Game 7, gold medal on the line. Israel led this series 3-1. America has fought back. They trailed this game 1-0 to the Americans. 4 runs in the 4th, and now in complete control, trying to add a little bit more insurance here. And they will have the top of the order with Danya Natterman getting things started.
Yeah, other than that explosive 4th inning, the Israeli defense has been fairly strong, keeping the United States off the scoreboard. You know, the Israeli defense now has to be nothing short of perfect. There can be no opportunity afforded to the United States here, as they already have a 3-run deficit to climb in the bottom of the inning. Anything else makes this look a little bit more insurmountable every time.
Still the righty Yair Browse out there. He came in with 2 outs in the 4th. As I said, he'll face Natterman, and then it'll be Cohen and Kempton. The U.S. trying to make this lead greater than just the 3. Make life as easy as possible in the bottom half of this 7th inning. First pitch is a called strike to Natterman. 1 for 3 with a 2 RBI double in that 4-run 4th.
Yeah, I like that they started the inning by seeing a pitch through. You know, you do have that 3-run lead. It's okay to be patient, even though this is the final frame. Find your pitch. Get yourself the best opportunities to pad this lead. You have the opportunity to do so.
A ball and a strike. That's about 3 feet in front of home plate, maybe more. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 7th for Israel, it'll be 3, 4, and 5. Brooker, Barkay, and Katz. They'll need to score at least 3 runs, if not more, depending on how this top of the 7th goes.
Yeah, they'll have to take full advantage of the power at that part of the order.
Speaking of power, that is driven deep to left field and off the wall. I think America thought it was out. Natterman stops at second base. He got a high five on his way there.
I was going to say, should that not be a home run? It hit the wall. Like if there was no net there, it would have gone over the wall. Should that not be a home run there?
I wonder if we'll have a conversation with the umpiring crew. I couldn't tell exactly where it hit.
I think the entire American roster, including the coaches, are asking the same question here.
The left fielder, Jerez, I think, thought it was gone because he kind of just turned and looked. He didn't run after it until a couple of seconds off after it was off the bat. But it looks like it's going to stick as a double, second double of the game for Natterman.
Yeah, that's pretty questionable. I guess it's in terms of, like, it's another weird quirk of the field that we're playing on today. But, you know, the Americans will definitely take that.
Lead-off double, a chance to add on. Jackson Cohen is up. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Check on Natterman. No throw, really.
A pretty impressive game here for Natterman. He's been all over center field in defense. 2 really big doubles in the 4th, a 2 RBI double in the 4th, and now a big leadoff double to give the United States a little bit of momentum here to pad their lead.
That's swung on, hit towards shallow left center, and it'll get down. Natterman will stop at third. A single for Jackson Cohen. Runners on the corners. Nobody out for America trying to grow this lead.
This speaks incredibly to the composure of the American hitters. You know, you have that lead. You can lower your stress levels a little bit. They're still playing their own baseball, looking to pad this lead and put Israel in an even harder spot in the bottom of the 7th inning in crunch time.
And Israel knows how important this is to keep it at just a 3-run deficit. And I think that's going to be it for Yair Browse. The third pitcher of the game is going to come out onto the mound for Israel. We'll tell you who it is after a short break. Back here in the top of the 7th, runners on the corners for the United States. New pitcher for Israel, Aaron Sachs from Modi'in, wearing number 45, the right-hander. Third pitcher in this game for Israel. 3 2/3 from Jonah Weissman, 2 1/3 from Yair Browse, and now Aaron Sachs coming in with a lot of action on the base paths. Nobody out in the top of the 7th. If you're Israel, you really can't afford to give up many more runs, if any.
Yeah, and if I'm the new pitcher on the mound here, I'm not happy to be put in this position, especially with the game on the line like this. Gold medal on the line, game on the line, everything is on the line, you know, so it's crazy. My heart would be pounding out of my chest if I were put in the situation here, but it's a testament to their composure to see if they can get out of this inning.
Nate Kempton is the first baseman, and he's at the plate, 1 for 3. Comes up empty on that swing. Natterman at third after he doubled and then Cohen singled.
Yeah, with no outs here and runners on the corners, any ball in the outfield is a good ball.
Ooh, way inside. And I guess it caught him. A hit by pitch. Kempton reaches for the second time, and the bases are full of Americans.
Yeah, it seems like all the momentum has been lost for Israel. You see some heads down over there in the dugout. Everybody's looking pretty sad. You know, nobody's out there cheering on their pitcher. There's no noise, especially when you have bases loaded with no outs. You're down 3 runs. All of the momentum's in the American favor, but if you're Israel, you still got one more opportunity. You've got to work to finish this off, allow as little run as you possibly can to the Americans, and really fight for your life here in the bottom of the 7th.
I've seen crazier things. This game is not over, but like you said, the vibes in that dugout are not great. First pitch is a strike to the catcher, Asher Applebaum. He has been hit by a pitch and scored. Other than that, a fly out in foul territory and a ground out to short. Outstanding stop by Agus. That had a wild pitch and a run written all over it.
Yeah, as a Phillies fan, I don't really like those, given how our last season ended to the Dodgers.
Applebaum, wow, tips that one into the mitt.
Looks like he was swinging for the fences there. That was a powerful swing and a miss. Although it's kind of hard to tell if you're swinging for the fences what would be a home run anymore.
That one's put in play. Over to short. They go to second for one. On to first. A big double play. The U.S. scores a run to make it 5-1, but it costs them 2 outs after a nice stretch at first from Medhani. So no RBI for Applebaum. Kempton out at second. Applebaum at first. But Natterman does score, and it grows that lead for the United States. Every run so valuable at this stage of the game. Over to third base for Cohen. So now with 2 outs, Samson Knopf. He takes downstairs. Knopf, a single and a run scored in the 4th. One of 4 runs scored that inning for the Americans off of just a couple of hits. There was a walk, a hit by pitch, an error, another walk mixed in there.
Yeah, you know, if that ground ball spoke, it was huge for the Israeli defense to get that double play there. A big, big momentum swing, even though the United States did score a run and they have a runner on third. To now have just 1 runner on with 2 outs is a lot better than bases loaded with none.
Struck towards center. Felimavicius is under it. America scores 1, but that's all. We will head to the bottom of the 7th. Israel needs 4, or the U.S. will win gold. bottom of the 7th inning in Game 7. The United States leading it 5-1 with a gold medal on the line. Will Hopkins and Zach Karpf here with you on Israel Baseball YouTube. I want to give thanks to Israel Baseball for allowing us at Maccabi Media to call this special Game 7. It was 3-1 Israel through 4 games. America has taken the last 2 and now leading 5-1 after Israel struck first in the 2nd inning. It's going to take a lot for Israel to come back, but still, these last 3 outs are the toughest 3 outs that America's going to have.
Yeah, and Jonah Cohen returns to the mound for the United States. I don't think you could have asked for a better performance from a pitcher in this game. Entering his 6th inning of work for the United States has been lights out.
Yeah, he came in the middle of the 2nd inning after the run had already scored. He gave up a couple more base runners, but no more runs. And since then, scoreless baseball all the way through now to the 7th. Been unbelievable in relief. And the U.S. will hope that it's a stress-free inning, one where they don't need to get anybody loose, and one where they can celebrate on the field afterwards here at Ezra Schwartz Memorial Field. 7-game series. It has given us everything that we could have asked for and more.
Yeah, for the Israelis to take a 3-1 lead in this series, just for the Americans to battle back. Now, on the verge of winning their 3rd game in a row to clinch that gold medal, I don't think you could have asked for a better storyline than this.
Due up for Israel, 3, 4, and 5. Omer Brooker, Yahel Barkay, and Noam Katz. We'll see if they work in any pinch hitters, but as of now, sticking with Brooker.
If you're the United States here, you got to take a deep breath. I know the nerves are definitely high. You have a 4-run lead. Do not let that take anything away from the intensity you need to keep on the field here. 3 outs is all you need.
A great start for Cohen with 2 strikes. And even though it's a 4-run lead, once a couple of guys get on, things can get nervy quickly and start spiraling. That's outside, 1 and 2. I feel like this first batter is so pivotal in determining how this inning goes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all up to Brooker to set the momentum here for his team.
That hit him. That's a start.
Yeah, talking about wearing it with pride in this Game 7. This is the pivotal moment to do so. Didn't even look like it phased him. He's already down the first base line getting ready to run.
First base coach Blake Dickman is excited about it. It had been Yuri Shiri who had been the first base coach, but it's Dickman here in the 7th. So now up Yahel Barkay. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Check over at first, back safely. And if you're Cohen, as much as you got to be a little conscious of Brooker, you don't have to be too conscious. His run in the grand scheme of things is not very important. You got to focus on the batter. And the batter grounds 1 to 3rd. They go to 2nd for 1. And what's the call going to be here? They were going to try to turn 2. And the slide from Brooker took out the American Feldman.
Looks like his hat's back on. He's okay. Speaking to the umpire there, it doesn't look like he intentionally slid into his leg. It just happened to be where he positioned himself to make the throw.
And it seemed like he stayed on the bag, too. It wasn't like he slid way away from the bag, which you sometimes see.
Right. Just an unfortunate collision there to prevent the double play, but a fielder's choice nonetheless for the United States.
And an important out. And didn't really see any huge arguments from the U.S. complaining about an illegal slide. So now Barkay's at first. Katz is at the plate. Takes a strike, but the same thing goes. Barkay's at first, but if you focus on Katz, you'll be fine.
Right. The United States is no worse for wear here. In fact, they have the exact same situation they were in before the fielder's choice, just with an added out here. Now you're down to 2 is all you need to win this gold medal.
Swing and a miss. As a player, it's got to be impossible not to be counting outs, right?
Oh, for sure. The United States sideline, the dugout is there's basically nobody in the dugout.
That one is tomahawked off the pitcher, and Cohen will go to first. An advance from Barkay, but Israel is down to their final out.
The United States, there's nobody, as I was saying, there's nobody in the dugout. American flags prepared. Their coaches are pushing them back, trying to get them to stay off the base path as to not get the United States in trouble. But if you're the U.S. with a 4-run lead here, all you need is 1.
And Jonah Cohen's a righty, so he can see those guys. His first pitch to Jerez. Just a bit upstairs. Israel has squandered a 3-1 lead in this series, a 1-0 lead in this game. America up by 4 in Game 7. Jerez barrels that one into right field to extend this ball game.
Wow, what a rocket there from Stone to get the ball back in. Completely cleared the cutoff man. I was looking in the wrong spot. That ball almost made it right back to the catcher.
You got to be careful there if your Jerez almost got a ground out to the outfield. He will be pinch run for. But I like there from the Israeli perspective that Barkay didn't go home. There's no need to push the envelope there. Your run is meaningless. You need much more than just the one. So no point of running into and out. And once again, it's this time it's Adam Feder, as the pinch runner.
Yeah, if you're Israel here, you've got to play methodically. I know it's kind of hard to keep the nerves down and play logical baseball when you're down to your final out in this 7-game series. But every movement, every decision counts here. You've got to play logically and keep your nerves down.
And as much control as it felt like the U.S. was in, if Noam Goldberg can reach, that will bring the tying run to the plate. Like I said, things can change in a hurry. And it looks like the United States is going to change pitchers. Fresh arm coming into this ball game, and it's Nathan Kempton, the first baseman. We've seen him pitch in this series before. You saw him pitch. You saw him pitch in Game 1, right?
Yeah, I did see him pitch in Game 1.
Tell us what you saw from him.
From Kempton. He had 3 solid innings here. It looks like
did they change their minds?
I think they changed their mind. I think they're keeping Cohen out on the. That's why I was confused when you asked me about Kempton, because I still saw Cohen on the mound.
I thought I saw Kempton take the ball from him.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to keep Kempton here at first base. A little bit of confusion. Maybe Cohen said, don't take me out right now. This is my moment. This is Game 7. I've been in this entire game. Give me this final out. I want to celebrate with my team.
He did take the ball from him, right?
Right. I think he might have, maybe given a little complaint, or his head coach was like, nah, keep him on the mound. They're keeping their trust in Cohen.
That's crazy.
Here. That's awesome.
So Cohen's going to face Goldberg. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. America up by 4. Israel down to the last out. First pitch misses, ball 1. Goldberg so far a double and a couple of flyouts. Picked up an RBI on that double, scoring the only run for Israel back in the 2nd inning. There's a strike to even the count, 1-1.
2 pitches are all that remains between Cohen and Maccabiah Glory.
Goldberg ready for the 1-1. Ground ball on the left side. It's called a fair ball. Swiderski to first. The red, white, and blue take gold. Coming back from 3-1 down in the series to win it in Game 7 by a score of 5-1. What a performance from Jonah Cohen.
An absolute fairy tale ending for this United States squad. Down 3-1. They're back against the wall for 3 straight games, coming back to win this series 4-3, etching their name in Maccabiah glory.
A dog pile between first base and the mound. Everyone swarming Jonah Cohen. And that confidence of saying, this ball is mine, let me finish this, paid off.
Yeah, if I'm Jonah Cohen, I feel on top of the world right now. To have the team behind you for 6 straight innings, to convince your coaches to let you finish this game out. This game belongs to him. What a performance to secure the gold for the United States.
The 2 clubs will shake hands before the U.S. gets their gold and Israel gets their silver. The difference in this game, other than Jonah Cohen, that 4-run 4th inning for the U.S.
Yeah, and still, an impressive performance throughout this series for Israel. They put up a heck of a fight to start this series. Everything looked to be in their way. They played some incredible baseball for the first 4 games of this series. It just didn't go their way to end. The United States took the momentum and never let go of it.
We are the champions ringing out at Ezra Schwartz Memorial Field. And I want to thank Israel Baseball for letting us call this game. Zach, I had a blast.
Yeah, this was so much fun. It's been an absolute blast to be on the call with you today. This is the first time I've ever had the opportunity to call a baseball game like this. I couldn't have asked for anything more. Beautiful skies, a great field, a great production crew here, and a great game for us to witness.
Congratulations to the United States on gold. Israel should hold their heads high with a fantastic series of their own. They'll go home with silver. Game 7 goes the way of the Americans, 5-1. For Israel Baseball, for Maccabi Media, for Zach Karpf, I'm Will Hopkins. We'll see you next time.